while back, I took a comedy writing class, and the instructor came around and asked what we were all working on. And I said, I was working on the 50th anniversary of Woodstock. And a 20-something-year-old sitting next to me says, hey man, what's Woodstock? How many of you here remember what Woodstock is? Okay. Well, for those of you who don't, who owned a 600-acre dairy farm in upstate New York near Woodstock. And he was going to allow a music festival to come in and use his property. Well, the locals were not happy, and they tried to stop it. So they had these nasty, vile protest signs littered all over the countryside. Buy no milk, stop Max's hippie music festival, and defund the dairy farmers. Yeah. Well, it didn't work, and the festival went on. And soon the newspapers started to report that there were hundreds of thousands of hippies struggling with bad weather, food shortages, and poor sanitation. Well, my. Isn't history repeating itself? Doesn't that sound like present-day San Francisco, Seattle, and Fuquay-Varina? Yeah. Mm-hmm. The thought of 500,000 hippies converging on the farmland was music to my ears. I wanted to make it 500,001. I was 19 years old, raring to go. Oh yeah. I had my bell bottoms packed and my tie-dye t-shirts. Oh yeah. I had a fanny pack with 50 bucks in it and 2 frozen Milky Way bars for the ride up. I had a ride, but the only problem was I was a lifeguard that summer. And in order for me to get that long weekend off, I had to find a lifeguard to fill in for me. I had to pay them out of my pocket, and I was making big bucks, $10 a day. Yeah. I've often wondered what Woodstock would look like if all of those hippies went back for the 50th reunion. Right? Well, right off the bat, at least 350,000 handicap parking places, right? And if history repeated itself, you're going to see thousands of wheelchairs, walkers, and electric scooters stuck in the mud. Oh yeah. Just imagine what Lost and Found would look like. Piles of hearing aids, medical alert bracelets, and hurricanes. And by the way, whoever named that product? Have you ever seen anyone hurry using a hurricane? No, I haven't. Oh, and I know where there would be many conversations between the producers of Woodstock and the governor's office. I could just hear it. Hello, this is Woodstock calling. I'd like to speak with Governor Holcomb. I've got 90,000 men here who can't find their wives. And I've got another 40,000 who can't remember if they brought their wives. Yeah. Well, I know the drug scene would be very different. There'd be no LSD, but plenty of CBD. And I don't think you're going to see too many hippies smoking marijuana, but they're going to be eating medical marijuana gummy bears. Yeah. And sorry, no magic mushrooms, but there'll be plenty of Metamucil. Yeah. Oh, and the bands that are coming back, many of them had to change their names. Blood, Sweat, and Tears is now Blood, Test, Night, Sweats, and Fears. The Grateful Dead, now Grateful We're Not Dead. And my favorite, Sly and the Family Stone, is now Sly and the Kidney Stone. Oh, song lyrics. This 50 years later, very different meanings. Yeah. The Who sang, Tommy, can you hear me? And Shakin' All Over. Oh, different meanings. And then there's Janis Joplin's song, Take Another Little Piece of My Heart Now. Doctor? It's a song about bypass surgery. And Joe Cocker, oh, he changed his lyrics years ago. He started singing, Going to Try with a Little Help from My Depends. The late 60s was all about peace and free love. These young hippies took their clothes off and danced naked in the rain. 50 years later, you're going to hear, For the Love of God, Harry, don't take off your pants. And Edith, stop dancing like that. It looks like you're having a seizure. And you can't afford another hip replacement. But as we leave Woodstock, we have to thank the sponsors. This year they were AARP, the Villages, and Viagra.